In Hebrew, the Lord's language, the word for blood and the word for money are the same. Think about it. If blood stops flowing in your body, you're dead. And if money stops flowing in an economy, the whole system collapses. So what does that tell us about the way God designed money to work? And more importantly, what does that tell you about why yours might be stuck? Let's talk about it, because the conversation starts now.
For those that may be wondering if the Bible does speak about money, last week we spoke about Genesis. It spoke and it said that money was good. If we can turn to our Bibles, if we've got them, to Deuteronomy 8, verse 18. It says, "And you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you power to get wealth." So God is concerned about wealth, and He has it in the Bible, which is our manual for living. So we need to be very good stewards of that wealth that we're given by God, and we need to also be good at spending it.
In Hebrew, there's one word for blood that's also the same word for money. Now, in Hebrew, or the Lord's language, when a word has two meanings, especially if it's an important word, what you need to do to get an understanding of what is being communicated is you want to combine the meaning of those two words. So since we've got a word for blood that's also the word for money, we must ask ourselves, what are the similarities between blood and money? Correct? For us to understand what is being told and what lessons and principles we must extract. Now, one thing we can all agree on is we've got banks for both, right? A couple of months ago, we were actually depositing blood into the blood bank out there, right? And though we may not use them as much as we'd like to, we also have banks for money in this country, right? And what you realize is that if money stops flowing in your body, what happens? You die, right? My bad. If blood stops flowing in your body, you die, all right? Hey, it would have been interesting if money flowed in our bodies, right? Thank you for paying attention. It was not a trick. It was actually a mistake. Okay. And if money stops flowing in and out of banks or in and out of an economy, what happens to that economy? We have first-hand experience of this, right? So that tells you that both money and blood are essential for the systems they operate in to stay alive and thrive. Correct? It's plural, right? So plural means many, right? So I don't think I've watched a lot of African movies, and I've never heard a Ghanaian or a Nigerian say a money or a blood, right? So that tells us that these things can never be in singular form. Are we together? If you look at the idea of giving blood, you can give blood as often as you want, as long as you space out your donations, correct? So you have more than enough blood to give away. You don't have a limited supply of blood. Are you with me? When we go to money, that means you can make more money for as long as you are willing to do what it takes to make more money. It's not limited. Are we together? So when we say there's no money in the economy, what you're also telling me is you don't like serving other people, because if you solved someone's problem, they would gladly come to your rescue and give you the money you need. Are we together? Even a business that's about to shut down, if you've got a solution that can turn around their fortunes, they will find the money to pay you. Are we together? So even in crisis, money will always be found. But here's the thing that I hope you're beginning to see. People will only pay you if you solve a problem. People will only pay you if you solve a problem. So each time you are presenting what you are doing to a potential customer, the conversation they're having in their head is, can this person really solve my problem better than the person I'm using now? Faster, potentially, than the people I'm using now. More convenient than the person I'm using now. And these days we are lonely. So can they add some emotional connection to this journey that I'm going on in solving my problem? And remember, it's not your problem you are solving. Someone else's problem. Sometimes we stay broke because we are so obsessed with our problems. So if you obsess over your problems, guess what? You are going to keep them. Because you can't pay yourself, otherwise you are crazy. All right? So that means in our thinking, if we want to get to a point where we make more and attract more, the question we must be asking is, what do people want? What do people want? How do we find that out? We ask questions. And when we are asking our questions, the focus is on listening, not talking. If you are asking someone what they want and you are doing more of the talking, you are not discovering anything. Are we together? So we must become really good listeners, really good observers. And each time you're asking yourself, so what is the problem that these people have? You know, we've got social media, and one of the things that I feel we need to start leaning in on is how can we use our followers to have conversations on what they're being affected by? Instead of, let's DM, let's send a message and say, hey, I'm thinking about this. Is this a problem you are encountering? And let those conversations begin to spark what your next idea is going to be. These days, you can actually start a business without a product and just a conversation. And that conversation will lead to the product that you need to be getting into. Are we together? So now that we know that people are only interested in their problems, if you want to be part of that game, if you want to be part of that conversation, you need to ask yourself, what am I gifted in? You may know all the problems, but your attempts to solve it may add more problems than solutions if you are not gifted or uniquely wired to solve that problem. Are we sort of together? Okay? We have different gifts, and your homework is to find out what is my gift. But not what is my gift for my gift's sake, but what is my gift and what value can it add to someone else? Are we together? I think that's why the Bible speaks and says a man's gift will make room for him. And you'll go before other men or other people. Because when you begin to show your gift, it will begin to show someone else that I could use this to improve my life. Are we together? So the question I need you to answer for yourself is, what do I do better than 10,000 other people? That's your business. If you've been struggling all along, you've probably been trying to copy someone else's gift, because that's what we like to do as people. You are given a gift, you think it's insignificant, and you start focusing on someone else, correct? And you say, I wish I could sing as good as Dr. Tatenda. But maybe you haven't been given the gift to sing. So discover your gift. And how do you do that? So after you know what makes you special, your homework is now, how do I make people find me? Because here's another wealth principle. People only do business with people they know, like, and trust. So even if you are the best at something, but I don't know you, I cannot work with you. Are we together? So you telling someone that I am very good at this is not showing off. You are actually doing your God-ordained duty of letting them know your solution is housed here. Are we together? So marketing is godly. Are we together? Because it allows people to discover you and why you are the person that they need to be working with. So some of you may be thinking, I don't have money. Your social media, Facebook, Instagram, all those places, those are now avenues for you to let people know, I am good at this. Show them.